You mentioned that it's very utmost necessary to make students aware on disaster management. Could you kindly elaborate more on this?
Basically, it's like this. I see these students as the ambassador, perfect ambassador for disseminating all the messages, pertaining to disaster. How should we? What are the reasons for disaster, man-made or natural, and how can they be countered? Because they can, take this message back home, and they can, share this with their parents. Time and again, with they share the parents, because the parents have to be made conscious of all this. So parents are the stakeholders. So this way the message can be spread all around.
So can we expect, this kind of curriculum or a chapter to be included, especially by the state education?
Definitely, that is what we want to do. We have already devised one book, new book for primary section, class 1 to 3.
Yes.
This is a sustainable development along with other things, including all things like disaster management. Everything is included there. So I want that more and more these type of activities to be included so that we make our children conscious about it. Yes, we know Sikkim is a small state. We don't want to, this small state should not become history.
Yes.
We want it to be preserved.
Yes.
So that is the thing. All of us will have to be, particularly the younger generation, they have to be made conscious about
I think
it.
you mentioned before that during 1968 disaster, you were part of a team.
Yes, because 1968. That was I had just come back from a football match from Doors,
Right.
and then there was a major disaster in 1960. Particularly today's Saramsa area. There used to be on this Tibetan refugee camp.
Right.
That was totally submerged in debris. And then we were a member of the disaster team. We voluntarily volunteer to take out dead bodies or rescue things. Besides that, also in 1997 disaster, landslides.
Right.
I own a person on my own.
In Tatangchiri.
Tatangchiri, I requested the head of the institute to close down the school. I started the relief camp there. Then I also provided some rations for people. Then I mobilized youth, and then that is how we are starting.
So my last question to you is, what do you think should be the takeaway for all the stakeholders who are participating in this national workshop?
You see, the stakeholders come from different places.
Right.
So now, basically, those who are in Sikkim, they should be aware about what lies ahead of us.
Right.
How should we prepare ourselves for the thing? So we have all the experts around here. So it is the right opportunity for all of us to see that all the inputs that we will be getting. We should not only take it back, they try to implement whatever we get here. That is the
So another question: how effective do you think, in terms of companies and industries that are along the Teesta Bank, they'll be with regards to this conference that happened today, and also the part where do you take does the discharge to the hospital, discharge to the river actually count as
Effluent discharge.
Yes.
one of the disasters?
As rightly pointed out by Mr. J.C. Khanal, we have almost 600 lakes in Sikkim, of which 10 are in a very dangerous position. So, but Lonak Lake, we have already started some. These type of things, unless we are aware of we try to take some primitive measures, these will ultimately cause loss of this thing. It will be disastrous for us all. That is so. As we were discussing about, certain legislation have to be introduced, adopted, particularly for the industrial thing, that is. Then we are, from our side, we are already initiating steps to see that the disaster, these are, to maximum possible, we try to reduce these disasters.
So skipping away from industrial disasters, there is also one preparedness that the state might have to consider, which is with regards to the snowfall. We had unprecedented snowfall last season.
Amounting to the death of a yak.
So this year, what's the kind of preparation?
It's because of the global warming. How can we predict what is good? Because disaster doesn't come saying that I am coming, you be prepared. That is one thing.
In terms of preparation this year, because last year the choppers couldn't even go to a couple of locations. People were stranded,
it was unprecedented thing. So we have learned lesson from that, isn't it? We learned from the mistake. We learned lesson from whatever whatever had taken in the past. So accordingly, my secretary is also here. We are prepared for that.
Right.
So that,
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you. Sir.